A young woman in a bright blue, fur-trimmed dress and a knight in armour stand close together in the narrow space of a spiral staircase. They may be seeing each other for the last time. A final restrained caress, a final kiss. Unable to hold back her tears, the young woman turns away. On the brave face of her beloved, reverence for her is frozen together with pain. They wished no harm to anyone and only wanted to be happy. It is clear that their meeting is secret and that they are allowed only a few stolen minutes together. The painting, now housed in the National Gallery of Ireland in Dublin, was created in 1864 by the Pre-Raphaelite artist Frederic William Burton. He was particularly fond of working with literary subjects, and this piece was no exception. Its subject is based on a medieval Danish ballad about the forbidden love of Princess Hellelil and her loyal knight Hildebrand, a story even more tragic than Romeo and Juliet. Hellelil was the daughter of the Danish king, while Hildebrand was one of the 12 knights sworn to guard her. The two fell deeply in love, but her father was outraged. The king considered Hildebrand unworthy of his daughter, despite the fact that he himself was a prince. The princess held a remarkable power over the knight. She could inspire him to any deed, any feat. Not because she possessed extraordinary qualities, but simply because she was his woman. For every man in this world, there is a woman capable of lifting his spirit and making him stronger. The princess and the knight decided to flee together, taking the royal treasury with them, but their plan became known to her father. Enraged, the king ordered the princess's 7 brothers to pursue the lovers and kill Hildebrand. The heart of the beautiful princess was torn apart by the thought that those dearest to her would soon meet in mortal combat. Hildebrand remained calm and confident, determined to fight for his love. As he pressed his lips to her hand, he made only one request: that she not speak his name aloud while he was still alive in the battle. Among the ancient Danes, there was a belief that if a warrior's name was spoken during combat, he would lose his strength, and with it, his life. Hildebrand fought fiercely, killing the king and 6 of his sons. Overcome with horror, Hellelil cried out her beloved's name and begged him to spare the youngest, the 7th brother. But the moment she spoke his name, Hildebrand lost his strength and collapsed, bleeding from a mortal wound. The youngest brother seized Hellelil, tied her braid to his horse's saddle, and dragged her back to their mother. From that moment on, all royal honours and palace chambers were denied to her. The brother wished to execute his runaway sister, but their mother, driven mad by grief, ordered Hellelil to be sold into slavery. Hellelil became a servant to a queen, to whom she told her tragic story, and then fell dead on the spot. It is this sorrowful ballad that Frederic Burton chose to capture on canvas, depicting the fleeting moment when the lovers are able to meet in secret. It is clear that they cannot live without one another, yet knowing the story, we understand that they are not destined to be together. The viewer's gaze is drawn to the spiral staircase of the old castle, narrow, like the vice of fate closing in on the lovers. Within this confined space, a drama unfolds in which every gesture is filled with unspoken words. Young Hellelil barely touches Hildebrand's shoulder. Her hand is like a fragile flower, extended toward the inevitable. Burton masterfully shows how Hildebrand holds the princess's hand with a gesture full of passion. Enchanted, he presses his lips to it, a touch filled with both reverence and despair. Danger hangs in the air, separating them. In the painting, Hildebrand seems to realize that he has already been betrayed and is perhaps already dead. Hellelil turns away, sensing that she will not be able to bear what is to come. The white flower given to her by her lover has shed its petals, now crushed beneath their feet. Frederic Burton, the author of the painting, was an Irish Pre-Raphaelite artist. The Pre-Raphaelites often turned to themes of the Middle Ages and the early Renaissance, drawn by the beauty of ancient legends and the exalted ideals of love and knightly devotion. Yet the visual world of their paintings often leans more toward fantasy than historical reality. Some artists simply did not strive for accuracy, while others knowingly sacrificed it for the sake of beauty. Burton, however, was different. His works are marked by exceptional historical precision. He carefully studied sources, spent long hours in archives, and was meticulous even in the smallest details. The costumes of his figures are historically accurate and fully consistent with the period. The only artistic liberty Burton allowed himself in this painting is the scattered rose petals, which serve as a foreshadowing of tragedy. In every other respect, the knight's armour, the princess's clothing, and the very structure of the medieval spiral staircase, there is no doubt as to their authenticity. Notably, Burton worked exclusively with water-based paints, watercolour and gouache. Because the painting is executed in watercolour, it gradually deteriorated due to exposure to sunlight. To preserve its vibrancy and prevent fading, Hellelil and Hildebrand is usually displayed for only 1 hour, 2 days a week. Even so, it attracts countless visitors. The legend of forbidden, romantic and tragic love continues to make hearts beat faster. According to a public poll conducted in 2012, Frederic William Burton's Hellelil and Hildebrand, The Meeting on the Turret Stairs, was named Ireland's most beloved painting. This work is not merely an illustration of a medieval ballad, but a reminder of how fragile moments of happiness are, and how high the price of love can be when it defies fate. Looking at this final kiss, one cannot help but ask, would we ourselves dare to place love above duty, fear, and even our own lives? Share in the comments what emotions this painting evokes for you, and whether you stand on the side of reason or the heart. There is already a video on the channel about another beautiful painting by a Pre-Raphaelite artist, also inspired by a medieval ballad. If you haven't seen it yet, I recommend checking it out. Thank you for watching this video to the end. If you found this story interesting, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like. It really helps support the creation of new videos about art, history, and their hidden stories.